Are you ready to elevate your school spirit? Look no further than onecampusco.com. Whether you're in the classroom, on the field, or cheering from the stands, we're dedicated to bringing academics, athletics, alumni, and fans together. Founded by our alumni-owned parent company, One Chapter in 2021, we recognize the need for quality apparel at reasonable prices and created a shopping experience that connects fans with their university. Join us in showcasing your pride and giving back to your community. With onecampusco.com, you're not just a student, athlete, or fan, you're part of a vibrant family. Together, let's celebrate what makes our university special. Visit us at www.charlotte.onecampusco.com using promo code HWY49 for 10% off.
What's up, Highway 49? What's up, Niner Nation? Chris Reynolds here, repping the Charlotte football. 7 a.m., coaching up these quarterbacks. Happy 100th episode. It's a Highway 49. It takes me back to when they first started up. Myself, guys like Vic Tucker, Alex Highsmith, Grant Dubose, Tyreek Harris, all these guys hopping on, expressing what's going on within Charlotte football. Niner Nation, what we're feeling, what's the mindset going into this game week, right? And then watching it grow to all athletics, having all these guests, right, talking about Charlotte, what Charlotte's about, what we're looking to get to, right? What's going on, what's in the future. Let's talk about the past, the whole 9 yards. So thank you to Hunter, thank you to Hannah, thank you to Jeremy. You guys are doing a great job. I can't wait to watch it grow. Keep going, guys.
What's going on, y'all? It's Eric Henry of 24/7 Sports and Horns 24/7. Just want to give a special shout out to the Highway 49 podcast. 100 episodes. That's a huge milestone. I know what it's like to try and get a podcast off the ground, so to be able to make it to 100 episodes is a huge accomplishment, and I've seen what the three of you guys have done getting that thing started from the beginning to now where it is, having tremendous guests, having tremendous success. Just want to shout out each one of y'all individually. Got to start with my guy, Hunter. I remember meeting him as a student when I was covering FIU, and he was still trying to find his way, wondering if this was for him. And I think the last 6-7 years have shown that this is definitely for you, Hunter. You are one of the best and most talented young journalists in the game. I'm proud of you, my guy, and I'm always looking forward to reading your stuff in the Charlotte Observer and, of course, your coverage of all things Charlotte sports. I'll go to Jeremy, who I've literally known since he was a little kid, and I'm proud to see his success. It's always great to have another aspiring journalist in the family. Another journalist in the family. He's not aspiring anymore. He's doing big things, and I'm just great and happy to see your success as well. And Hannah, definitely a tremendous talent. I've seen you doing your thing on the sideline, working with the American Conference and was covering Charlotte. And I remember our conversation we had at March Madness last year, and I always enjoyed catching up with you. So just want to say shout out again to the Highway 49 podcast, 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more, and I can't wait to see what y'all do in the future.
Hunter, Hannah, Jeremy, congratulations, episode 100. Of course, I was fortunate to be on a couple of those podcast over the last couple years, that feels like, and I just want to say congrats. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Again, the void that we have with Charlotte sports, the podcast or whatever that may be, the content, you guys really help fill that. So just wanted to say thank you from behalf of me and all Charlotte 49er faithful, that the content that you guys continue to bring out on videos, Spotify, what I listen on, of course, on the pod, is phenomenal stuff. And again, you guys are so credited. You guys have just such a great following as well, the Niner faithful. So keep it up, 100 down, 100 more, and then we'll keep on going to the moon if we need to with the Highway 49 podcast. You guys are great. Thanks so much. Go Niners. Let's go 100.
Congratulations to the Highway 49 podcast on the 100th episode. Let's celebrate the right way. Let's get the Charlotte logo in the background and really bring this in right. Hunter, Hannah, Jeremy, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for everything you do for Charlotte athletics. I know 49er alums are proud of what you guys do. Not only are you breaking news every once in a while, but when you do break it, your analysis is awesome. It's second to none. You guys have the most important figures in Charlotte athletics on the podcast, whether it's the coaches, whether it's the players that people care about so much. You bring them on. If you're not listening to the Highway 49 podcast, what are you doing? They're here for a reason, people. They're at 100 episodes for a reason, people. I'll be listening to the next 100. Thanks again for everything you guys do.
Is this thing on? It was like like it's been a minute. Welcome back to the Highway 49 podcast. This is episode 100 of the show. Wow, there's a lot of episodes. Full circle moment, real fast. Chris, our guy Chris Reynolds here, the first ever guest on the Highway 49 podcast. Yes, sir. So pretty sick to
let's go. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Come back full circle. Reflecting back for a second before we dive in, we've got a lot to talk about today. This started a couple years ago. You guys were added in the mid-teens. Best decision I made with the pod. Glad I did it. Glad you've been on so many times. We appreciate your knowledge, everything you bring to the show. And before this kind of gets into it, there'll be some episodes, or some not episodes, some clips. You sent one of them. A couple other folks that have been on the pod sent them. So if you've been on this pod, you're a listener, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to us. So appreciate y'all. And with that, let's get started, guys. So best thing we've seen this week, long-standing tradition. Chris, what you got, man?
Back in the hometown, O'Callahan's, Irish pub and eatery. We had a big celebration this weekend for St. Patrick's Day, so it was cool to be the mix. I had some Charlotte crew down there, as well as some hometown friends. It was cool, everybody collaborating together, watching some basketball, having a good time for St. Patty's. So that's my go-to right there. From a bad thing, I don't know. I got nothing there.
Oh, no, you're good on that.
Honestly.
Good things only, yeah.
Yeah, only good things.
Good things only. Yeah, same here. I grew up Irish dancing, so like St. Patrick's Day has always been huge. I actually got to go to Raleigh visit one of my best friends. She moved up there, so we celebrated St. Patty's, did a little Irish jig here and there. Super fun, honestly, so really can't complain. It was my first week,
Fun.
Weekend, not working in a really long time, so it's just nice to spend some time with friends and celebrate.
Yeah, trying to think. So I used to make fun of my friend in high school because he would say, "Oh, I have seasonal depression." I'm like, "Dude, you letting the weather affect your mood?"
It's such a real thing.
Yeah, look at this guy, softy. And then a week ago, got off of work, 74 and sunny. Walked into Plaza, got some beers with my friends, and I was just like, you know what? Life is worth living. I did a
dopamine levels
yeah,
right
that's what I'm saying.
when the sun comes up, huh?
Spiked on me, and I was like, you know what, man? I had to text him immediately, like, yo, I'm sorry. 7 years ago. But
You were right.
That's what I'm saying. You were right. And the weather today and everything was just great. So honestly, just the turn finally, because I feel like in North Carolina, we get a fake spring. Oh, yeah. And we got it in like late February, kind of mid-February, but it was like 70 for 3 days straight. You're like, oh, we're finally out of it. And then it snowed 2 days later. Yeah. And you're like, damn, we're right back into it.
That was criminal.
Right? So best thing is just the weather getting better. Good getting to see you guys again. And like Hunter said, episode 100. This has been a hell of a journey.
Yeah, that's cool.
No doubt, man. For me, I would say getting, writing, picking back up again, doing some Charlotte basketball in the AAC tournament. They won a game, first time in 9 years. Good for them. Or tournament hoops. And then Charlotte football starting back up. Excited. Spring ball's getting rolling. We're about to dive into all that. But really just putting the pen to paper again, or hand to keyboard, however you want to say it. It awakens something in me. It's I feel like I've been doing it forever and covering Charlotte. You kind of go through a little burnout. And then when it comes back again, it's the first day of school. You got your
Winter Soldier
out.
Got you, huh?
Yeah. Feel like the Undertaker waking up. But definitely, man. So dive into it a little bit. Charlotte football kicks off spring practice tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's kind of the first day of the Tim Albin era. We're going to get to meet some of the new faces, some of the new staff. Chris, I understand you got a chance to meet him real quick. What was that interaction like?
Yeah, man, it was cool. I got to shake Coach Albin's hand shortly. We're going to get together at some point, but the rest of the staff I really got to maneuver around a little bit, especially JK. He was the man, chief of staff over there. But you just felt like when you walked in there, it felt like home. You know what I mean? They were super genuine. You could tell you just kind of have that feeling when you meet people. Yeah. You could tell it's a player-first development program there. You know what I mean? They want to see these kids thrive, and they want to do it the right way. They want to get these players and get this program to the highest level it can get to. And you can look at Coach Albin's track record. He's known for developing, and I'm all about it. Especially in the world of NIL and portal, whenever guys are coming in and out, and he can still find a way to develop kids. To me, that's what I see. And say, okay, this can be something super special and doing things the right way. So I'm excited to keep getting close to these guys and learning more. But I have a really, really good feeling about this.
Definitely. And I feel like when you look at kind of the staff, I had a brief conversation with them. It was a phone conversation. We talked kind of a preview, and he wouldn't dive into too many positional things. But you could tell when he gets going, and Hannah and I feel like we experienced this when he came on the pod. When he gets going, he's like fired up. You could tell he loves ball, and I think that kind of oozing over onto the field tomorrow is going to be the start. When I look at this spring, it's all development, right? There's so many new faces, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to talk quarterback in a little bit. They got at least 3 or 4 new guys on the offensive line, probably a brand new running back. The only receiver that could come back would potentially be Sean Brown, and he's still kind of waiting on an NCAA waiver. With you, and before we get to quarterbacks real fast, I want to ask, how key is spring as both a signal caller and just a new player in a program? Like, what is that like?
So it's kind of one of those things where spring and summer, right? You go through the hard stuff in the winter, like your mat drills, your strength program. Then you see what you got. You know what I mean? You put them out into the field, put the cleats on, get the ball thrown a little bit, and you kind of you have an idea through film, especially with new guys, and you see how it gels on the field with the guys that had been there. But then it's kind of a trial and error. It's not like, hey, you guys are getting all these reps. You usually split them up in certain ways, so you're seeing what everybody can do, from your most tenured Johnny King Sr., right, all the way down to the guy who just got there. Then you kind of get done with that spring ball and you reevaluate. Okay, this is who we need. This is what we need. We need more depth here. I think we're set here. Maybe we bring in one more guy here. So going into that, it's like, okay, it's a matter of gelling, especially quarterback receivers, like immediate, what I think. Can you handle the offense? Can you handle the defense? Can this guy play offense and play special teams, right? You're kind of getting an idea of what your team's about, what your identity is, and where you need to plug, add some more guys for the summer. But then you get into summer and say, okay, we have an idea of what we're going to be. We might supplement a few more guys to see what they can do in training camp. But usually you have a pretty dang good idea what you want. So spring is super trial and error, what the new guys are about. But I'm excited to kind of get a little bit couple tidbits from the next couple months.
Definitely. And I'm curious for you guys, covering this program the past couple of years, is this probably the most excited you feel like the fan base has been?
I feel like every year there's always excitement. I mean, I feel like Niner Nation is just always faithful, despite how the previous season goes. But I do feel, especially heading into the spring season, that Coach Alvin is bringing a little bit of, old school X's and O's type of hard-nosed football coach type of vibe that I feel like Charlotte has really needed. And he's brought in a lot of really good recruits, and I'm excited to see kind of what it looks like when they finally get on the field and kind of try to figure out what this team is going to look like. But I do feel a lot of excitement, just kind of the anticipation of heading into spring season, and then just the final product of, football season will be here before we know it. I'm excited, honestly. I hate when football season is over and then there's like this lull. And I'm like, yeah, I love spring sports, but gosh, there's nothing like it. So I'm excited, but I do feel like there's a lot of anticipation heading into the spring season.
Yeah, I don't want to dive too much into recency bias because I remember when Biff was hired and he said that stuff. My whole quote, like, make the donors salivate. But people were like, this guy's coming from Michigan. They are Michigan. He's going to bring his whole platoon. This guy's going to have us back to where we're supposed to be. And the excitement level was really high back then, too. But I think the difference with Tim is that he tempered expectations in the beginning, the introductory press conference, and Biff did not. He kind of just went, hey, we're going, throwing the Hail Mary, we're going to the college football playoffs first year.
Yeah.
And Tim was more like, hey, man, I know what I came with. I know what we're here with. Look at my track record. I've done this. I'm experienced. It's not going to be an overnight thing. However, if we can have the right building blocks, we can have sustainable success here. So excitement levels on both ends, but I think this one is a little more tempered, which I think is good for this program going forward.
Yeah, he came in with credentials to back up, what he's done, but didn't overpromise, I feel like. So I think that's really important heading into the season.
Well, and that's the thing, is he's Charlotte's most proven head coach of the 4 now. And you think 3 10-win seasons in the MAC, 2 Coach of the Year awards. One of the interesting things, too, and we've talked about how tough this schedule is, like, on multiple occasions. It's rough just looking at the 12-game slate. He went 3-9 in his first year at Ohio. After that, 10 wins, 10 wins, 10 wins, or maybe even 11 wins in one of the seasons before coming here. I want to ask you, and this is kind of going back to your first couple years at Charlotte, 2018 to 2019. Y'all go 5-7, which is what this program was last year. 2019, you make that jump all the way to 7-6, get the bowl game. obviously you dealt with an injury, which I think is part of the reason y'all didn't get to the bowl game back in 2018. But how close were y'all then, and what got you over the hump personally, like with that team?
I would look back at that roster and you look at how many old heads we had.
Yeah.
We were,
There's a couple of them up there.
no doubt. I mean, Alex Highsmith, Tyreek Harris, Jeff Gimmel, Benny LeMay, Ben DeLuca, Nafis Lyon. Then you go Cam Clark, Jalen Fisher, 2018, Darren Drake. Guys that had been there for a while, tenured, seasoned, dealt with adversity, know how to lose ball games, know how to win ball games, know what works, knows what doesn't work, consistency, process. I thought that's where it lied. And I think that the cool thing about Tim is he's got the blueprint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows what it's like to lose. He knows how to respond to losing and failure and develop and change things. He's not shooting in the dark. He's got the idea, right? He knows what he wants. He knows how it looks, and he's done it a few times, and he's going to do that here. Now he's got a little bit. It's a bigger program, right? In a way, we're in the American Conference, right? I think Charlotte's easier to recruit.
Yeah.
So I think that he can do something special, and that's how I view it. But from my tenure in 18 and 19, it's a matter of like getting those old heads, mixing it with the coaching philosophy, and taking it and running with it.
So there were some people who were like, Charlotte finished 5-7, one more game, they're bowl eligible, right? But can you talk to us what the difference is between 5-7 and 7-6? Because even though it's 2 games, it's a lot bigger than that.
No doubt. And like you look at it, and it's easy to go back and be like, well, if we would have done this.
Exactly.
And it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Right? Even with the wins, you go with the wins, like, okay, well, if he didn't make that kick or miss that kick. But same with the losses, if we would have just made that one play. But that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Football.
And that's football.
Yeah.
And that's honestly a mindset. That's an off-season thing. It's how as corny as it can be sometimes with like the weight room, like and things. Like, no, dude, you got to do the extra one, right? You got to have a mindset and callous your mind, right? And don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today, because if you worry about tomorrow, you might miss that one play.
Exactly.
As a metaphor. And I think that's a mindset. It's a process-driven mindset. And I think that every college football coach in the country tries to ingrain that. But like I said before, I think Tim's got the blueprint to do so. And then your coach puts down the framework, but now it's on to the players to build it. You know what I mean? You can beat a dead horse all you want as a coach, but until the players are like, I'm in, and they take it and run for it, and they make it theirs. Yeah. Like I used to always say, like, guys, we got to take ownership.
Yeah.
I don't care what you put in front of me on this whiteboard, it's mine, right? I'm gonna make it work. So if we can get the coaching philosophy to go down to the players to make it work, I think that's when you go to the bowls.
Absolutely. And so with spring ball this time around, like I said, this is kind of a smorgasbord. There's a ton of new players. There's some old. There's even some that you played with. I'm not trying to call you old.
No, I was actually wondering that the other day. I was like, who's still on that team that I played with?
Yeah, there's a couple mainly on offense. Prince
Dog, Johnny.
Yeah, Prince Beema moved on, which is crazy. I feel like, I think it's maybe those two. I'm trying to think of other ones.
If Sean's there, Sean.
Yeah, if they'll allow him back. Jalar Holly, I think you played with.
Jalar, yeah.
He's waiting for a waiver too. Yeah. There's 3 right now. It's Mitchell Mays on the O-line, Jalar Holly on the D-line, and then Sean Brown.
I remember when Jalar got there. That was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the training camp. I was like, who's this guy?
Miami training.
Yeah, come on.
And so there's a story coming out in the Observer tomorrow about position battles. Talk about the O-line, talk about wide receiver, talking about linebacker, edge, and then obviously main reason we're here today, talk quarterbacks. Charlotte brought in a trio of new transfers. Duke quarterback Grayson Loftis coming over, Connor Harrell from North Carolina, and then Zack Wilcke, who started at Southern Miss, played at Northwest Mississippi as a JUCO. And then they have Tanner Bushy on the roster. He's a returnee. But it sounds like, in talking to Auburn, that the trio of the trio of transfers will split the starting reps or split all reps. With that, I know real fast. Wilcke. You've gotten to work with him some. We got to plug the CRQB development
Come on
here.
now.
Yeah.
We are now Tom House Sports certified. I'm under his tree. Woo-hoo. Coach Tom, that's one of the GOATs, right? Trained Tom Brady, trained Drew Brees. I got to spend time with him in college, so I'm thankful to be under his tree now, teaching his good work. So it's really cool.
Absolutely, man. So you got to work with Zack Wilcke a little bit. What's that like? How's he been, and what can Charlotte expect?
Ball rat.
Yeah.
he's the one who's reached. He's like, Chris, when can we go? When can we do something? And he's asking the right questions, right? You get into this business, and the more you do it, you find egos.
Yeah.
Right. And I took pride in not being ever that guy. It's like I'm a sponge, right? And usually those are the ones that play the longest.
Yeah.
The ones that drop their ego, right? And they're like, I want to learn. There's no ego. He's like, I want to play, right? I want to do things the right way. I want to learn the best stuff. I want to take care of my arm. I want to run this offense. So, I think people in the public would view him as a dark horse.
Yeah.
Coming from the smaller college. But I like being the dark horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got your Duke guy, your Carolina guy, and you're kind of your hybrid, right? It seems like 3 different types of players based on this short film that I've watched. So that's kind of a cool thing in a way when you go through spring ball as an offensive coordinator. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you want your offense to look like? What's your identity want to be? If you want to run more pro style, you want RPO based, right? Do you want to run the read option? How do you want to do this? So it's going to be cool how you have the melting pot of everybody and seeing how you're going to groom this thing. So it's going to be cool.
Definitely. And Tim Albans talked about, so media will be able to watch kind of the stretch period, 30, 45 minutes. And then as soon as the team gets into actual practice, they're going to close the doors. We'll be able to come back for interviews. So it won't be as, I guess, inclusive as far as understanding and being able to talk about what the team is. I get it for the most part. I mean, their first 2 opponents are 2 hours away. You're talking App State and North Carolina. But to dive in on them, I just want to kind of talk about the quarterbacks really fast. So Grayson Loftis coming over from Duke. He's a 3-star coming out of high school. Actually got a chance to play really early as a true freshman. Riley Leonard went out with an injury. The backup was hurt. He was originally
His first year was 22?
Yeah.
Okay. No, he wasn't there when we played him, right?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. I think it was the following year.
Okay.
He played in 5 games, or started 5 games, played in 8 total. Did relatively well. Made a couple huge throws against North Carolina. I mean, he led a comeback in that game. They ultimately lost. He showed some flashes, though, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Connor Harrell, Charlotte fans should be relatively familiar with his game. He actually started against Charlotte this past year in Chapel Hill. That was his best college game. He also played in the Queen City at Bank of America Stadium against West Virginia in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Struggled in that game. But like I said, playing against Charlotte, he played his best game. McGuire Neal actually picked him off, so shout out McGuire. Not sure if you're listening to this. And then the last one, Wilcke, started true freshman year at Southern Miss, started 8 games, came 1 shy of Brett Favre's record as a true freshman there. He played in 9. Much like Loftis, after their first year, they kind of fell back down the depth chart, and Wilcke decided to transfer going to JUCO route, and has obviously made his way back. So looking forward to hearing your breakdown, and I guess let's go ahead and get to it.
All right. Number 1, old Grayson, Duke Blue Devil. All right. So little passing concept. It's kind of a drive concept, as some say. You can do a lot with the front side of the concepts. I'll let you just watch it first. 6-man pressure. A nice, beautiful throw on the big box fade. So what you could do with this concept, you can do a lot. You can do like he did. They did. You got a slot fade to the front side, which is the top of the screen. You can do a slot fade. You can do like smash, which is a hitch in a corner. You can do switch smash, which is a dive release corner with a 4-step out, which gets to the same surface area. You can run sail, which is a big skinny post with a deep out. But no matter what what you tag on the front side of the drive concept, you usually have a shallow route and a dig route. So if you don't like what's going on the front side, you nice and easily move your eyes inside, go shallow to dig. So with the slot fade tag, it's usually you're going to take your gift hitch, which is up top, which is a 5 yards turnaround. If the corner is super deep, we'll just take it. Otherwise, we're alerting that slot fade versus man coverage.
Oh, yeah. That's very key to the success of this.
Keep moving. Am I good to keep moving on, or should I start over?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So right here, he sees this is a great recognition here. Usually, like if you don't have your gifts, you're going to work your eyes back inside. But he recognizes post-snap, safety rotation looking like cover 1, man coverage.
Yep.
So what you do, you hold the safety for a quick half second. You know what you're doing. You're going for the home run.
Can you talk to us about down and distance, third quarter, second half just starts. It looks like they're on their, opponent's 20, or they're on their own 26-yard line, 3rd and 9. Got to have it play. What's kind of going through your head as a QB here? Like, hey, I know this ball's got to go up. It's got to be in the right place. However, I want to make sure that I'm not just throwing them an easy pick if maybe it's not in the right spot.
And that's why it's interesting, because it's 3rd and 9, right? It's 3rd and 9. Tendency-wise, usually you don't have a lot of man coverage. So through film study, they must have saw, hey, they will get into this soft cover one, right? Catch technique, meaning a DB's really not going to try to bail on cover one. With the 8 yards of depth, they're going to try to let the receiver meet them and break off any type of 10-yard route. So this is a great identification from him. Okay, 3rd and 9, I get man. If it's any type of zone, we're usually off that slot fade. We don't want it. And honestly, now I think about it, if you have that hitch, well, we're on the other side of the field. So we're good here. Let's take the slot fade. Give your guy a chance.
Yeah.
We don't want to overthrow your guy here, right, with your slot fades. Worst case scenario, you get PI. But this is a great job adding trajectory, fading your receiver, giving him a chance.
And he also had the backside dig, it looked like.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right.
same thing, yep.
So say you go through your read, right, he gets hung up, he gets hemmed up there, he can nice and smoothly move his eyes back for your dig concept.
Hell of a throw.
Yeah.
Yep. Another way you can kind of read this play, and the way they might have done it too, because they have the shallow, the drag route from the outside. If it's like, hey, man side, zone side, right, or 1 high, 2 high. So there's different ways to go about it. I like to drop them in the buckets when it goes to reading defenses. You can go like man zone, you can go 1 high, 2 high, or you can go pure progression. Great play. It's a big deal right there. Coming out of the halftime, making a play like that. Great ball, great placement. Good catch. All right. Little scramble drill here. This is just, you always like to see this out of your quarterbacks, when things break down, right? Yeah. Everything looks good on paper, right? But when things break down, can you make something happen? It looks like they're running some type of kind of a stacked concept. It looked like they had double posts with a wheel at the top. It's hard to see. But, it breaks down. What can you do? Can you be an athlete? You're just going to crumble, right? You're going to keep your eyes up, see if you can make something shake, right? 3rd and 7, big deal, right?
Yep.
We got to move the chains. You want to keep that 3rd down conversion up. Makes a play, get upfield.
As a defense, I'm probably talking out of my ass right now, but it looks like that was kind of a delayed blitz where that guy's waiting, or it's a QB spy waiting to see what he's going to do, and then he is able to come up the middle, no blocker there, and he's still able to make that play.
Correct. And I don't know if you remember from our fall talks, usually you get more of that simulated pressures.
Yeah.
Meaning they're trying to confuse you because they know you're usually probably not going to run the ball. Because if you were to run a simulated pressure with all these different types of stunts, right, with people crisscrossing, it's easy to zone it off and gain about 8 yards, right?
Yeah.
But obviously you're not going to run the ball 3rd and 7 on your side of the field.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that you can stunt some people. Shoot, keep doing that, rusty. But yeah, maneuvering that, managing chaos, because it gets chaotic with the simulated pressures. They're trying to show you one thing, come from the other side. In the meantime, they're bringing defense linemen crossing each other. This is a great job of making it work with the delay spy, just like you're saying.
And if you are a QB at the line, you think this might be coming on 3rd down. You're telling that running back, hey, I need you as a safety valve. I need you to be ready for this if something goes awry.
Or if they bring more than you can block and you need the running back, you're letting your guy know, hey man, listen, we got a 4-man slide working to the mic. I need you to keep your eye on him and any type of exterior pressure. Mm-hmm. So that's the point of it. It's like, hey, you got to make sure your lineman's cool, but also your boy next to you is cool.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to think that you're clean, and next thing you know, they're coming off the edge.
So for me, you just told us about what you would say to him. You're at the line, put yourself back in the situation. What are you actually saying? What's the terminology you're using to tell that running back, hey, I might need you on this one?
Let's go back a little bit. So what I'm saying right here, let's say we have just a 6-man protection called, okay? Usually that's your Rays, your Lees, and I'll explain that in a second. So you have a 4-man box, right? Your back's on the left. Usually we have a Ray call when and this is a lot, right? So I don't expect anybody to understand this, but I'm just going to try to go slow because I don't have much time. Yeah. 4-down lineman, right? Usually that means you have a 3-man slide. 1, 2, 3 for 1, 2, and 3. Big on the back side of the Ray call. Big on big. Man, leaving him for everybody else. So if these 3 are taken care of and these 2 are taken care of, he's left for everybody else. For him, and anything outside of that 32. So it's just making sure, hey, listen, we got a Ray call here. You got 11. You got this boundary safety. But if they don't come, scan across because they might do something crazy on the other side.
Got it.
So you good? All right, here we go. I want to make sure I'm clean so I can go through this progression.
And just for the viewers, I wish we could get college football all 22 film, but they do not play about that shit. So
we'll get a whiteboard in here too at some point. I got one I got to bring in.
There you go.
Next time I'll bring it in, I'll start drawing the X's and O's Gruden style, baby.
All right, so real fast, this is, as he would talk about, down and distance, time on the clock. Like this is Not crunched.
Gotta have it time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 4th and 7, man. 46 seconds left in the game. You're down 4. You're in enemy territory. Looks like they're bringing cover 0. What is cover 0? They're bringing everybody.
Everybody on the way.
You know what I mean? Buckle your seatbelt, right? You better have a damn plan,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or your chin strap's getting put up. So they're in a bunch formation. You can see everybody's walked up. You got to make something happen. Looks like they scheduled some type of double move to the top. Usually you like to do that, or it might just be a fade ball, but usually when they're in catch technique, like I was talking about, you see how it's man coverage, but they're soft?
Yeah.
So they're looking for you to meet me. Run a slant, I'm there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not backpedaling. I'll meet you right at the point of attack. So usually the counter to that is run through them.
Yeah.
Right? But they're running cover 0, so they're banking on them beating them running through the DB. Okay? So catch technique, cover 0. Like a little slant, like a little sluggo, right? Step on toes, make a play. But that's a great job. It's a great scheme, but also great anticipation of understanding you're going to take a hit, hang on that back foot, and get it up. Worst case scenario, like I said, take pass interference, right? So boom, it sees cover 0, ball's out in 3. Get out, easy money. Great job.
You're a QB coach. What's that technique like when you know hit's coming? You're taking that, quick 3-step drop, you're planting that back foot, and you're firing it, or what?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing it, I'm making a slide protection. So I know exactly what's going on. So I might, to keep the throw in my face, I might say, lasso. Hey, easy. Lasso. I'm taking you 5 guys, and I'm just coming down here. Bring them down so I can see through it to the extra defender, and I might drift a little bit this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys probably remember sometimes, right? You see me, sit the line for a second, you see me anticipate moving a certain way.
Yeah.
So that's what I would be doing so I can see through it, so I'm not hot off both edges.
Got you.
So I want to see where they're coming from and see through my receiver.
Buys you an extra split second.
Correct. And at least know, all right, I'm good. I can hold on to it for that half millisecond. So bang here, slide left, right, bring everybody down so I can keep it in my face. So now you see you can't really see your
Right.
but this is a great job of him just knowing time. Like, get rid of the ball. 1, 2, 3, hitch ball. Love it. That's a big time play, man.
Other reactions.
I dropped a surrender cobra on there.
Oh, man.
All right. So this one I think is an RPO deal here. So let's talk numbers, right? We got 6 guys in the box from a sense of offensive line protection, right? Running an inside zone, right? Let me make sure we're running the zone here. Yeah, we're just zoning it off, right? 6 for 6. Okay, now let's talk numbers in the box from defense standpoint. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? No 6.
Offense has the advantage.
Got the advantage.
Yep.
Right? So realistically, if I'm reading somebody, this guy closest to the box, so technically he's just going to hang out and double team, but he's not really a threat right now. So he's going to hang back. He'll hinge the left tackle's hip, wait for any type of exterior pressure, otherwise he's going to help out. Then technically this would be our read, right? Because that is our 7th defender with the RPO behind it. So we're running an RPO glance here, 5-step deep slant. And we're trying to replace that extra defender that would take away the run, okay? So we're 6 for 6, right? Technically 5, right? So we read through the mesh. He's still looking at his read key, that 7th defender, right, which is here, right? Boom, reads through. He does come down, but we're still 5 for 5, right?
So it's a handoff in most settings.
I'm sure if you asked him, he would go back and he'd hand it off.
Yeah.
Or, because he still has it, or just change his trajectory. Now, I like it because he's getting greedy. And that's kind of the way I played sometimes when I got comfortable. We called it, instead of RPO, Coach Carney would kill me, but I called it PRO. Hey, Coach, listen, man, I know we had numbers in the box, but the extra guy did fit pretty hard, and I knew I could get it in there.
Yeah.
I think y'all ran this like a million times.
A lot. It's all about, changing arm angles, right, adding trajectory. But if you're going to do a PRO, you better get it, or you're going to hear it when you get to the sideline.
Yeah.
And that's how, and it was a respect thing with Carney. He's like, if you do it, good.
Yeah.
Cool. But if you don't do it right, I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
So I like the guts. Just add a little bit of trajectory, but technically we're good to hand the ball off.
Okay.
And for the viewer, I threw in a pick for all the quarterbacks, so it's got a few good plays, a couple tough plays. So
Yeah.
Dover. We call this play Dover.
like Delaware.
Bend over.
Dover.
Interesting.
You ready? What's the sound like? Dover, over.
Yeah.
Okay.
deep,
Got it.
over,
Okay.
Dover,
Okay.
Dover.
I'm in
was
NASCAR
wrong.
land.
Jeremy was somewhere
You're in
else.
the gutter. I'm in NASCAR land. Yeah.
Man.
So your over is coming from the slot here. Usually with Dover, you have a deep skinny. If it's one high zone or man, we're turning to a go ball. All right. So we got skinny, Dover chasing the heels of your post with a backside dig. So pure progression. We're going to alert this post for cover 4, which is 2 high safety look, low coverage for the middle of the field shot. Otherwise, we're going here to here and usually to your back. Okay. Honestly, it should be a cylinder read. So Dover over or a post over back. Probably move your eyes to the dig. But anyway, we got a 2 high shell here. Looks like cover 4 because the safeties are lower and the corners are soft. If you get kind of a shell where the corner is here, the safety high, that's telling me more of a 2 shell. Anything like more flat line with 2 high safeties, more of a cover 4 look. Basically just deep man in hindsight. If all these guys ran 10 yards, they'd all lock on. Okay? So you see that boundary safety, the left safety? I'll let this thing go. All right, look at this left safety right here. Keep an eye on him. He's probably keying him right away. Boom. He gets a little bit flat-footed. He looks through him. He knows he's got a shot. You're licking your lips as a quarterback right here. When you have no rotation, you just know you have 2 highs coming down. You can see through it, and you see all that space behind him. Great ball. Throw him to the middle of the field. Give him a chance. Great play.
Yeah.
Great job. I love it. Love the progression. I love the play call. I love his eyes. I love him seeing key in the boundary safety staying low. He knows he can blow the top off over his head. Go get him.
Nope.
Great stuff. Boundary safety read and working back down to your back into your dig. Pretty ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Fire me up one time, Gray. Nice. All right. Connor, Carolina, right? Who was up there in that room last year? It was Connor, Max Johnson,
It's Jacoby Criswell.
Jacoby, who's with Coach Healy now.
Yeah, ETSU.
Yep. Go Bucks. All right, here we go. This was Duke's Mayo Bowl. That was 23.
Yep, Drake May sitting out before the draft.
Yep. Looks like this is a vertical pattern concept. Yeah, there's running verts, okay, with double check down, right? 1st and 10, right, usually a high percentage of what coverage? Man, right? Man coverage, especially when you go tight end look here, 11 personnel, begging to hopefully get into man coverage. Otherwise, we'll work inside out on verticals, meaning, right, if you have 2 safeties, the inside vertical will break to the field. If it's 1 high safety zone, he's going to stay straight. It's pretty simple from the inside guy. Otherwise, in the outside guy, if the corner stays soft, let's play it so you can see. What's up, Connor? Good to see you again. All right. So if the corner gets soft, we'll fall out of it. He'll press about 15 yards. It'll come back to 12 yards. If we think we can beat them, right, the yes-no rule, yes, we're going. Yeah. Right? So it's a great job holding your safety through 3, 1 high man, or they got man to the boundary. Give your guy a chance. Great throw. Great catch.
Great catch.
Good ball.
No football analysis here, but this jersey combo from
I was thinking the
crazy.
same thing.
Crazy game.
So that corner there is Beanie Bishop. He's top draft pick. Plays for the Steelers now.
So it looked like they ran cover 3 to the field or to the 2 receiver side. So you see their eyes. And even him too. They're showing you zone.
Yeah.
Right? At the snap, he bails, right? And he gives you more of a man technique. Right? So you can do that. You can split the field in half. You can say, I'm just going to man a single receiver and run zone on the other side. So he recognizes his man opportunity, takes a shot. I love it. We made hay with Grant Dubose on this one. And all of the receivers.
Dude, there's a throw in the third one in Wilcke that looks just like you to Grant.
Yeah.
In the Duke game.
Tell you what, when you got those guys out there, it makes it easier to take one-on-ones. You know what I mean? Anytime we had verts and we had an RPO call and there was a fade call, first thing I saw was like, where's 14? And is it man-on-man?
Yeah.
We're going for it.
I was just about to ask you because you said it looked like he was doing a zone look, and then he went into a more of a man stance. How quick do you have to process that to know, oh, wait, zone, no man, and I'm going?
I mean, you got, like, that's as a receiver, too. Like, you're running through and you're making a decision by about 12 yards. So you're saying, like, if you see any type of heel movement or even, like, leaning forward, go.
Yeah.
That's how I operated. I'm looking at the tendency. I look through the safety through 1-2. I scan a 3, then I'm making a decision myself.
Yeah.
There's been times in my career when I've thrown the ball way over somebody's head and they're falling out of it. That's the most common mistake you'll see in college football a lot. He's like, where is he throwing it to?
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was going to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pretty common usually.
3rd and 15.
3rd and 15. You know, your high cover 2, Tampa 2, 3 safety looks. Just
keep everything in front of you.
Yeah, no doubt. So the quarterback draw. Great call.
Yeah.
Great call.
Yeah.
Why are they running the ball on 3rd down? Where do you want me to throw it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 3rd and 15. I mean, you got to do these things. People get so mad when you run the ball on 3rd and on 12. Well, sometimes you got to.
I threw this in because Alvin talked a lot about having a quarterback that could move.
Yeah. So you can see here, you know, you got like a 5-man box, 4.5-man box. And you know what I love about this with him? With quarterback play, a lot of guys just like, they're kind of like mosey their way in there. I mean,
yeah.
Him, look how freaking fast he goes.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out. Let's go.
Yep.
Got some speed.
Yep. Get in. Full steam ahead. Make him spin. Make a man miss. First down. Great call. Great run. Love it.
And as a defense, that's got to be demoralizing. 3rd and
It's not
15,
fun.
we got them.
Well, think about it. Everybody's trained to, like, in that type of situation, just back up.
Yep.
Then they're caught. Like, oh, boy, here we go. You know? So they're giving you, like, a simulated look, meaning, like, they got 2 backers mugged up, screwing with your pass protection. Hey, what do we want to do? Do we want to slide to this guy, right? Or is he going to bail out and he's going to come, right? This is where film study comes in. Or, like, I teach guys, like, there's multiple ways with their eyes, things behind them that could tell you who's coming. But in this situation, you know, you feel like you got to have somebody in the middle of the field. If you look pre-snap with 2 safeties with open field behind them, somebody's got to take care of that space.
Yeah.
If everybody was tighter, right, like cover 0, that's telling me they're coming. But you see how much space and void there is? That void is not going to be there, right? Somebody's got to take care of that. Great ball. So it looks like they're running like a glance concept, right, which is like a 5-step slants like we talked about earlier. They're showing you like a 1-high zone. So 1-high zone glances are so friendly because you're getting to that seam part of the field.
Yeah.
We did it a lot with cover 3 RPOs with it when I was there, with like a deeper slant getting to that void. A lot of times with concepts, a 3-by-1, so 3 receivers to one field, 1 to the other. You'll have like the single guy run the glance, then a normal concept, like a 2-high concept to the field. So this is like, okay, if they go 1-high, go here, 2-high, go here. But this is a great job throwing on time. This is a rhythm 3 route. 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry. Usually that ball's got to be out in 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, ball out. Boom. 1, 2, 3, ball out. Great timing.
Yep.
Perfect. Right on the hash. That's what we're looking for. Nice, Connor. Good feet. All right, this one's just late. See that extra hitch he takes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Run inverts, right? That's all it takes. Next thing you know, somebody's in your lap.
Yeah, Chance Williams made this play for Charlotte.
Boom, right? They're running some type of, looks like we talked earlier, like cover 3 to the field, right? And they're going to man the boundary. Cool. I love taking a 1-on-1. But make your decision by 3 and a hitch,
Yeah.
right? And then you're going to decide if you're going to back shoulder him, over the shoulder, or just give your guy a chance, right? So we look. Oh, gosh. You see that little extra hitch?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when you get somebody hit. I mean, granted, he got hit.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, it made the ball go inside.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between getting a clean pocket versus not. Like, you got to understand, like, 1, 2, 3, hitch ball, right? Anything longer, I feel uncomfortable with the ball in my hand after that. You know what I mean? Then I'm starting like, oh, all right, here,
Yeah.
what's going to happen? Like, if that's a feeling that you just don't like having. So I'm sure he learned from that. You know what I mean? Coaches getting off and say, hey, man, you know better than that. He would probably told you, yeah, I took too long. That was on me, you know? And the extra thing.
That ball came out a little wobbly, too, because I hit.
Yep,
Yeah.
no doubt. Left it inside. And that's not how he threw the ball, obviously.
Yeah.
You know. 3, boom. Great throw. I love this concept. You know, they're running like a post, looking to clear out to let the wheel fall right behind it. This is great anticipation, right? Not getting antsy. Post, clear it out.
Yeah, that's nice.
Take the
Yeah.
zone defender wide and go right out the hash. Great throw, great anticipation, great understanding of the concept. If I'm a betting man, I think they had a drag concept coming to it.
Drawing these up must be so fun,
Yeah.
right? As an offensive play caller or playmaker, where you're just like, it's just creativity at that point.
It's a lot cooler when it works, boys.
Very good point.
On the sideline, like, oh shit.
Yeah, you know, like I think I told the story on here before. My last game, I was at 9,998 yards. Carney's like, hey man, hey man, you got it. Take the expo marker, draw it up for your brother. He's like, listen, let's not get crazy here.
Yeah.
Let's just put an empty set. Let's go 3 receivers to the field. Let's go 2 to the boundary. Let's see if we can get the backers just stretched out enough, but plenty of space for the 2-high shell. We can do the jack fall for 3 yards. minus 2 yards. Thanks, asshole. All right, here we go. Now we got to do it. So then we drew up the next one, which is another play we drew up with the spacing concept would have worked. So it sucks when it doesn't work, but it's really cool when it does.
Yeah.
All right, Zach. What do you say, pal? All right. RPO. Bang.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That looks just like opening drive score against Duke.
So here's the con, right? The 5-man box, right? Or they got 6 blockers. I think it's 6. Let me confirm. Make sure we're in 11 personnel. Yeah, tight end there, right? They're running like some type of power, right? And we're going to read the extra defender. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7.
He's coming down.
There you go. So there's your extra problem. He's the problem,
Yeah.
right? Great feet and anticipation. It's got to be fast, right? Ball in, ball out, anticipate, replace that defender. Get upfield. And if you do it properly, that looks like just like Grant from Duke.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna overlay it and
Yeah, right.
shit side by side.
Yeah, so that was beautiful. Another RPO talk. Look, they rolled to 1 high. It looked like cover 1.
So real fast on that, you have to make that decision immediately because
You have
your
to know-
guard that's pulling is gonna get too far down the field.
Yeah, no doubt. You have about a 2.5 yard buffer. Sometimes refs will help you out, but sometimes some refs are dicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just how it is. But yeah, usually how I do it, catch 1, Mississippi 2.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I like to pretend like I'm in a hula hoop, right? I don't like to get outside the hula hoop after the fake, right? I don't want to take too much time. I don't want to hitch back. I don't want to hitch forward. I want to turn a double play, and replace that defender that's giving me issues.
So with spring training that starts tomorrow, these are just the plays that they are going to have to go through and simulate too, where I bet Albin's telling them, hey, man, these have to be quick, decisive,
Time.
concise.
Because you can't wait any longer, too, because you get to involve with the safety, right?
Yeah.
If you're running from the boundary, a single side glance, and you have a cover 4 safety rolled down, if you wait too long, you're getting involved with the other side.
Yeah. Something that looks so easy as a slant, and then he takes it to the houses. There's a lot more behind it.
Oh, yeah.
One more thing with this. So Tulane, this was I think 2023. They were damn good that year. They beat Caleb Williams in that USC team. I think like the Quicken Loans Bowl or something like that.
Michael Pratt, Manning Passing Academy. We got pretty close to that camp.
Yeah.
Michael's a good dude. Ball out. Nice.
Southern Miss actually won this game. That was one of Tulane's 2 losses all year.
Really?
Yeah.
What is
That's
that?
crazy.
All right, little Miami. It's all about the U. It's all about the U.
Oh, let's go.
Way to give him a chance. That's the thing, man. You notice ran coverage, right? It's 2nd and 10. Take a shot. This is a big boy throw. You're on the far hash, throwing a man fade to the field. This is a good job of knowing what you want, right? Giving your guy a chance. Looks like they're running some type of 2-shell, cover 2-shell to the boundary. Same thing, splitting the coverage like we talked about, running man to the field. Right?
Some ugly jerseys they got on.
Yeah. It's just a pretty bad matchup overall.
Yeah, running verticals to the field, give your guy a chance. I love it. Good high point by that receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southern Miss has had a bunch of good receivers come through. Remember Jason Brownlee? Remember that name?
Yeah, so he's in some of these clips. He plays for the Chiefs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stud. He was really good. It was between him and Grant. I remember coming. We almost got Brownlee
Yeah.
in 19. Then he decided to go to Southern. Yeah. It's all right. A year later, we got Grant.
Hey, man, let me look at the camera real quick. Can't find any more of those nuggets other than the Highway 49.
Almost got him.
I think he's in a couple of these clips, actually.
Did a good job making a play, extending a play 3rd and 11. You know, a lot of times on 3rd and 11, like I said, they get into those deep coverages. You got to make something shake.
Yeah.
You know, unless you predict the perfect coverage with a perfect play and it times out, usually something's going to happen. You got to move.
Hunter, you just said, Albin wants a guy who's mobile. Mobile doesn't always mean being a guy like Connor who can take off and just zip by people. It's extending plays like this. That kind of counts as that as well.
Yeah, like see how they can screw up your pass protection on 3rd and 11 plus, 3rd and 9 plus.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you guys got to do this stuff. They're running some type of like switch, bunch set, right? But you don't even have time to go through because simulated pressures, right? They screw up your counts. Good job making a play here. Little twist, right? Screws your alignment up. But again, like if you ran out on 1st and 10, you can run the ball on it. You know what I mean? But that's why they know they can get away with it on 3rd and 9 plus. All right, 1st and 10. They're bringing pressure from the field. We call this a stack, right? You see 2 players overlap from each other. They're not going to play football like that. There's too much space on the field, right? So that means somebody's coming, right? Field pressure. Looks like play action pass. Taking a shot, one-on-one.
In a bucket.
Great throw. Yeah, just play action, right? See through the middle of the field. If you have your one-on-one, let's take it. He knows he has his one-on-one. That's what it's designed for your outside guys. Take your shot, play action, play on time. You can't wait much longer, right?
There you go, Brownlee.
Yep. Great play. Good throw. Really good throw. Great catch. Dang, that's good track skills. All right, they're giving you like a 7-man box, 3-4 defense. Just a little too long. A little too long. Just kind of like earlier with Connor, right? You can't wait that long. Looks like they're running some type of running back wheel. Looking with a 1-high defense, looks like that's what they might be getting to, or cover 4 defense, for this guy to clear out this corner and having the flat defender match with the running back and just run up the sideline.
Yeah.
So he feels pressure to push him this way. What's his posture and his eyes telling the defense?
Yeah.
Right. Come to me.
That makes that safety or that corner, it's easy to fall off, retrace, and go get it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's hard managing situations like that. Because you want to manipulate defenders. So I would just say, if it ever feels like you're holding the ball too long, you usually are.
Yeah.
If you're questioning yourself and then you feel it, you usually are.
You could see him drift a little bit too, like you're saying.
Happens, man. And picks happen, man. I threw plenty of them. Plenty I wish I had back. But there's some, you just got to freaking let it ride.
Like this.
Slot fade.
What do they call that?
This is the extreme exaggeration of me saying give somebody a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you man coverage, eyes on eyes, right? Hold the safety through one, give your guy a chance. Ball. Who is that? Is that Brownlee? No.
Brownlee.
That's Brownlee?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, Brownlee. Pretty good, pal.
Should have been a Niner, I guess.
Yeah. This is great recognition, though. I've seen a man letting it go.
All right. Appreciate you breaking all that down.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask you, and honestly, I just think this is a great question. You always hear players talk about their favorite moments. People ask, what was your welcome to the NFL moment? What are some of your favorite players' moments from college, this or that? Is there a moment or a play from your tenure at Charlotte that still haunts you?
Easy money. Old Dominion, 2021. The Niners are 5-6. We're really blowing up that back half of the year. 4-2 at the break, right?
I drove there for this game.
Yeah. So first drive, we're rolling. The boys are feeling good. We run a slot fade to the field. I think we're in the middle of the field. And we got a 12 personnel, 2 tight end set. We're running like switch verts. Jake Clemens is going down the middle of the field. And we got somebody wheeling up behind him, like double verts. So it basically turns into 4 verts. But it's really like a man beater, slot fade to Vic. And everything else is progressing your eyes. I saw a soft corner kind of duking me a little bit. And I was worried about the corner, right, in man coverage falling off late and to get the slot fade. So I was like, all right, what I'm going to do is, there's a hyperactive safety. I'm going to push him to the slot fade and bang Jake Clemens on the front line, on this face mask. I push him, maneuver him, and I kind of lost the safety. I was like, I think I moved him. And I throw it right to the face mask of the safety.
Oh.
Horrible feeling. But that was, it's one of those things, like, as a quarterback, and I wasn't young, I was older at the time, pressing, doing too much. Like, don't overthink it, man. Just giving you man coverage. If you can see through it, if it's not there, just throw it out the back of the end zone. That's one that keeps you up at night because you don't know what could have happened after that series. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, that momentum is important. And I was a bad situation. But we started climbing back in the end, but you don't want to have to dig yourself out of holes. You know what I mean? So that's probably one of them.
Yeah, Luke Martin had a fucking pick 6 in that game.
Luke. I still talk to him a lot. He's doing a great job. He opened up a facility down in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
He trains a bunch of athletes, has his own gym. It's really cool. What's another one? Trying to think year by year. 2019, Florida Atlantic. I threw a bad one before halftime.
Homecoming.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Hunter.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
Oh,
This guy
no.
knows him. He's waiting for you to say.
Hunter's in the corner. Like, I remember that one.
Yeah, that one sucked, bro.
Shit, that throw was so shitty.
That's my favorite thing, though, is, like, we would have real conversations about it. So
Oh, yeah.
Like, after the game, it'd be like,
Yeah.
tough. Like, we would.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. Like, that was a big learning moment for me, though, because I was still young in a way. I was trying to do too much, like I said before, and I learned that lesson later. Go to Marshall, end of that year. We had a 2-minute drill before half. Had the same play. Didn't like it, threw it away. Then we threw a deep dig to get in the field goal range.
Yeah.
Very important at the time. So it's all about like making the mistakes, learning lessons. 2021, 2022. Man, there wasn't many bad ones. 22. I've really learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
2021, that one. There's a couple that you wish you could have back, but that Old Dominion one really sticks out to me.
Yeah.
From ones I wish I had back. So.
Definitely. Well, appreciate you reliving those.
Yeah, thanks, Hunter.
Sorry to put you through that.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, a lot of good ones too.
Yeah.
No, plenty of bad ones. I think I was like, how many did I throw? You probably know.
He has a stat just like waiting.
Yeah, Chris, you threw like 28. No, I threw plenty, but that's the best. I mean, that's the part that comes with the position, man. Can you weather the storm?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that you got to learn those lessons.
Yeah.
You don't want to learn them too many times though. So usually, if you learn the same lesson twice, you shouldn't be playing at the time.
You talk about CRQB and the development process with these guys, and it's not just like you said, the technique, the throwing angles, everything. It's the mental part too. How do you kind of take the guys that you're walking these things through that part as well?
No doubt, and I think that that's the cool part about what I get to do is that I teach them how to throw a football, but it's so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, throwing a football, it goes this day. It's not just step and throw. Yeah. It's like, can I get my front foot down at 0.15 seconds or less? And when the foot gets down, can I get the ball released 0.3 seconds after? Right. Can I do that with max association? Can I get my hip and shoulder separated to create max torque? Can I stop my left hand from over rotating so I have peak power? So that's just throwing. But then there's nutrition. There's functional strength. Right. Do I have arm strength versus arm speed? Can I protect the little muscles around my ball and socket joint? Am I protected there? Do I have mobility in my hips so I can transfer my energy? Ankle mobility, transfer the energy. But then the mental, emotional part is honestly the biggest.
Yeah.
Plenty of throwers out there. Now, can you manage the storm?
Yeah.
I mean, can you rotate? Can you see one high, two high? Can you see man zone? Do you know how to fix your protections? And that's just one half of the mental side. You throw a pick. You suck, right? People are going to let you know. How are you going to do?
Yeah. How do you bounce
back?
I
mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get into this last block for my training, especially not really my younger, but my older kids. I'm going to press them, right? I'm going to be like, hey, man, I'm a fan, right? Yeah. I'm not your coach when we get to the end. We're going to run drive. We're going to go slot fade drive, right? We're going to run sail. I'm going to give you cover two. If you don't get to your dig and you throw a pick, I'm going to let you know you screwed it up. Out of love. Now, because like if I was coaching, I probably wouldn't coach like that. But you're going to be around plenty of coaches that are going to let you know. Yeah. Fans that are going to let you know. Can you manage it?
That's so true. Yeah.
Clip that, post it.
That's good stuff. So reframing, right? Can you reframe the way you see things, right? There's a player-coach relationship. If you're not seeing eye to eye with coaches, right, or with other people, your teammates, can you reframe in the way they're seeing it, right, and make it work? Can you stay present, right? Meditation's huge, right? Teaching your brain how to stay in the present moment. Don't get too high. Don't get too low, right? Peyton Manning, great story. I might have told it on here. Peyton Manning throws he throws an interception. Hey, man. The quarterback coach goes, hey, man, Peyton's cussing. He's pissed. He looks at Peyton and goes, hey, man, it's just a throw. Peyton goes the next drive, throws a touchdown. Peyton's excited.
Hey, man, it's just a throw.
Hey, man, it's just a throw.
Here we go.
Like, we got to keep going, man. Like, this is a long season. It's a long career, right? With this roller coaster, can you stay right in the middle? So there's a lot that goes into it, and that's why I'm so thankful to be in the position I am and learn these lessons myself so other people don't have to learn and do it to make the same mistake. You know what I mean? So that's the best part about it.
Definitely,
that's
man.
Awesome.
I feel like, definitely for the listener, but I feel like we're all kind of sponges in here too, trying to soak it up.
Yep, and if I you guys ever, if I need to slow, please, because I get running.
No,
so if I need to slow down, yo, Chris, back up.
You don't understand, man. I'm going home firing up Madden as we.
I love it.
Second we do it.
Come get that work.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh.
I love it. It's good stuff though.
But
awesome.
Real quick before we wrap up, going to do some housekeeping. We'll catch up a little bit because it's been a long time since we've done a pod. It's been a long time since we've been in the studio. A lot of that's on me. Work's been crazy.
We've all been busy, so it's not all on you.
and I want to talk about that. So, Hannah, you just finished your first season with Wake as in-host for Men's Hoops. Talk about that and talk about the
big time.
Thank you guys. That was honestly, it was so fun. Just going up there, being around a different program. Obviously, I've never really been to Wake. Lived in Charlotte, born and bred a Niner. But going up to Wake, the environment, Everyone was so welcoming, so kind, and just accepting of me being a part of their game day atmosphere. It was just so fun. They had a great season, a heck of a season. I know they're not going to the tournament, and everyone's very upset. Obviously, rightly so. That's always the goal.
Damn Tar Heels.
I know. Gosh, a lot of controversy, but it's okay. But it was such a fun season. I got to do a lot of cool things, worked a lot of cool games. Carolina came in to the Joel, as well as Duke, obviously, who are probably going to make a heck of a run in the tournament. But just overall, just a great experience. Couldn't have really asked for better. It's allowed me to, make more connections and grow in my career as well, and have a little bit more fun than I do, being so serious doing broadcasting. You can have fun broadcasting too, but got to be super serious and on your game. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm thankful, honestly, for the opportunity. So.
I don't have much to say. It's kind of been the same Hornets losses. Hunter's been there with me for a few of them.
Yeah.
Going to those locker rooms, asking LaMelo Ball.
But you're killing it, though.
How'd you go? Lose by 30 again, and he gives me, kind of 2 thumbs up, and we're rolling. But ACC tournament just happened. That was fun. It was exhausting because I live close enough to the stadium to walk there, so I'm walking there around 2 p.m. I'm getting home around midnight, and you're just like, man, that's do it all again tomorrow. But again, these are things that if you asked me 3 years ago, you'd be doing the ACC tournament and
look at you now.
I'd be so happy. So just really thankful, and it's good to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Like Hannah said, when football season comes around, even if it's spring football, I'm fired up.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Turn me up.
Yeah, exactly. Turn me up.
Yeah, Hannah. Yeah, Hannah.
And real fast, I want to plug a friend of ours, Kelly.
Yes.
Wrote a story. Just talk about what that was like and working with her for that.
Yeah, that was honestly, it was so touching because I actually had the chance she shadowed me for one game. I worked men's basketball one time, and she's only a sophomore. Okay, and she's writing for the Niner Times. I think she's the sports editor. But she reached out to me and wanted to do this piece on me and about my faith, being a woman in sports. And it was so touching, and I'm just honored that she felt called to write that for me and share a piece of my story. So it was fun to see that out there for everyone to read. And it was fun. I didn't know she had asked you guys to do quotes. And so I was looking back at what you guys said, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, my team. I was like, this is awesome. So I really appreciate you guys. You don't understand how much that means to me, and getting the chance to work with you guys and just being here and doing stuff and getting to be here with Chris and all of the fun things we get to do. So it was just really awesome, and I'm grateful for her for doing that.
I'll give my POV. I want to hear Hunter's. I'm just laying in bed. I get a text from an unknown number. I'm like, oh, who is this? Is it another person trying to scam me for polls and unpaid?
Dude,
oh my gosh, that is going around.
I'm getting insane. But it's like, hey, this is Kelly Blackburn. I'm writing a piece on Hannah Brady. I would love to hear some. I have some questions for you if you'd love to respond. And I'm like, I'm not going to type out a whole, thing, but I'll send some voice notes. And it was just good to see how, she took a lot of pride in it, and you could tell that she kind of shares that passion that you have too. So that story where, I forgot, at a basketball game when a kid had a sign and a poster, take us through that one more time.
Yeah, I forget what game it was, but obviously last basketball season it was magical, Magic in Holland Arena, and I looked over and some kid had a poster that said Hannah Brady had a heart on it, and I was like, what is going on? And I was like, this is something I never expect. I'm going to do my job, not do anything else. So it's just kind of a cool moment, when you walk in and you're trying to do your job, and it's like people can recognize you for the hard work that you're doing. And I try really hard to give Niner Nation bits and pieces and of the athlete stories, because they're athletes, but they're also people. So that's something I really like to do, is just give tidbits of more information throughout the broadcast, so to feel like people think I'm doing a good job. It was just such a cool moment. So yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, for me it was my introduction to Kelly. I asked her what she wanted to do. It was at one of the Charlotte press conference. She said, get into broadcasting. I said, you should go talk to her. And she was like, oh, I already know Hannah. I was like, oh, then you're good. Yeah. But yeah, she cut out some of the quotes. I was definitely talking some crap about you, but
I'm sure you were. Yeah, no doubt, honestly.
No, but good to see, and you deserve it. Praise is kind of hard to accept sometime, but you definitely got to take that and run.
I'm not good at taking compliments, so.
Take it. Come on. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, to wrap up, again, This is sick. 100 episodes. I mean, I'm thinking about all the stories told on here. There's been so many fun ones going from Alex Highsmith coming on the show, Larry O. We got Al Wallace, Big Al here, Denzel Irvin.
Man, rest in peace, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Got guys like Xavier Williams out here playing safety now at other schools. Get into the Hornets. Josh Green, one of their guards is going to come on the pod next week, so we're trying to kind of venture into that. But as far as the pods go, we're going to pick up a little bit with spring. Aaron Fern just had a ton to say. I don't know if you saw that clip post-game.
I watched that.
Yeah, and he's talked a little bit about that with us before, and I hope that he will come back on and kind of elaborate because that picked up a lot of steam. We got old David West picking this up and things like that.
Yeah.
But overall, this is fun. I love the concept of the pod because it really is guest-driven. I mean, like I say, anytime you're on, people come. We've kind of established that listener base, but it's so much fun to hear stories, get the tidbits like we talk about, and it has really spanned a ton of different sports and even off the field, off the court, off of whatever. So I appreciate that and appreciate y'all tuning in.
You guys do a hell of a job, man.
Yeah. So, appreciate it.
Shout out Hunter for, spearheading this. But one of the cool parts is when we were, I think after the ECU game, 55 burger on those guys. See, people tweeting us, right? People tweeting us, they're like, can't wait for this Highway 49 pod. Like, they're waiting for it, right? They're waiting for the pod to drop. And it's like, dang, like, that's crazy where, they want to hear our perspectives, but also just the ball knowledge that Chris is giving, and just.
Oh, my gosh.
It's
a wealth of
great.
knowledge.
You don't get it anywhere else. So, truly, this has just been a great 100-episode journey. Even though we weren't here for all 100, this has still been a great journey. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys here right now.
With that, let's wrap. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back soon with more.